Good evening. Good evening. It's Monday night. It's 7 p.m. here in the Pacific Northwest, and it's time for mental mind treatments. I want to also thank you for coming in. I really thank you for the subscriptions that have risen just in the last week or two. And also, what else? Your comments. Yes, I love your comments. So thank you so much for all those. I'm going to say that up front. Marian is on here, and she says, "Good evening, Norma. My numbers are," and I'm just going to write these down, 1, 11, and 21 for inspiration and inspiration. Right. Also, I should report, too, that every week when we do these, my friend Marian sits home and works on a Tibetan bowl. And so very often, if you're wondering why, how come it's adding, you don't hear the sound because she's not with me here, but it is going out as well every time I do a treatment for you. Well, I've had quite a day today, actually, but here I am. I'm a little stumbly with words. My nose has been playing up. I was in the middle of doing a reading when all of a sudden I had this wasn't even an itch on my nose. It was like I had to stop everything and deal with my nose. And I'm just keeping my fingers crossed that it stays behaving, because it was misbehaving 5 minutes ago. I don't know what is in the air, something in the air, I guess. We had a lot of sleet and sort of snow rain today, and very gray. I didn't go out at all. But anyway, so we're going to begin with Marian's inspiration with the numbers of 1, 11, and 21. So basically, the 1 is everything is possible. And 11 is what we call just a symbol of decision, that this is the way we're going to go. And yet 21 is the acceptance of it all, acceptance of everything coming together. And I just want to talk a little bit about acceptance at this moment, because what I find, many of us don't want to accept what is, and yet to make changes by accepting, everything begins to work much better. So knowing that these numbers here is a commitment to being inspired, or accepting what is there and accepting where we're at, because that's where we got to be before we change. But anyway, let's have a look to see what the treatment will come through, because they inspire me. It's not something I think beforehand. They're just there. So I know that there is one power and one essence, and I know that it is accessible to all of us, and therefore I speak my word for Marian. As I speak my word for Marian, I know that inspiration of awareness, growth, perception, and just everything everywhere is all around, and that she is open to hear, see, and know, and make decisions about the inspiration that she receives. I also know that she does receive a lot of inspiration through her dreams, through her talking with her angels, and that also goes to support the eventuality of all things coming together. We have a lot of decisional elements in here, and often it's, what do we do when we get inspired? Do we throw the thought away? Do we throw the feeling away? Or do we embrace it and grow on it? It feels very here is about choices, as what we're allowing in and what are we maybe not allowing in, so that we can embrace everything and embrace it in all the ways that we want to achieve what we want to do. We're magical characters as humans. We're very magical because we're very creative and we have great thinking abilities. And in the thinking abilities, sometimes we have to be aware to just let the thinking go and let the inspiration take place and allow it to move through us and for us and be with us. I give thanks in the knowing that Marian is being inspired. I give thanks in knowing that her inspiration not only just inspires her, but sort of penetrates out into the world, and that the essence of her lovingness, her givingness, her knowingness of wanting to support and achieve and be will be honored by the beings above, by the loving universal energy, that all of this desire of being inspired and having patience and waiting will be rewarded. I give thanks in the knowing of this as I release this thought for Marianne, that inspiration is there, is given, and will demonstrate. And so it is. Amen. Kayla says, sending much love and joy to all, and she has put a request in for her daughter-in-law to be, and that is to have her daughter's passport by the end of this month, definitely by the end of this month. I put the numbers of 13, 5, and 12 down for that. And 13 is the death symbol, is moving through the chaos. And the 5 is to be, in a way, inspired and learning and knowing. And 12 is the acceptance. So the accepting of it. So in the changes, that we don't lose sight of the end goal, which we know which is, that passport is in hand by the end of this month, for sure, even before the end of this month. I know in the one power and the one essence, and I know that no matter where you are in this world, that this universal energy is there to work for you. I know also, as I speak my word for Diamond, that I'm going to say the hassles, and I'll use that word. The hassles have been there, but basically I sense that the majority of that is over. And it is now time just to know and accept the awareness of what you're wanting to achieve and what you're wanting to do with this passport will be brought to you, will be successful, because the way has been long and hard and troublesome. But the death symbol is the hope, because it's at the end as you're moving into the victory. It's that in-between stage where the worst part is over and now you're transcending. And this is a transcending into the awareness and the knowledge and the beingness of acceptance of what it is that you truly desire. So relaxing, being, and knowing, keeping your eye on the prize, and it will be. And for this, I am incredibly grateful as I release this thought to move out, because of the truth that the passport will be in hand by the end of the month. Thank you. Blessings. I'm going to have a little sip of this. Today I'm back with my clearing throat juice here. Karen is on here, and I say, I would love a treatment to be more deeply connected to my inner light. And 3 numbers are 9, 19, and 15. Deeper commitment, right? Deeper connected. Okay. To inner light. Okay. I'm just taking a moment just to move in on that. Number 9 says the answer lies within, and that it is the embracing of life and letting go of fear or the worry or something about how it looks, what it will look like. So I know that there is one power that is incredibly loving. And as we allow, hang on a minute, that's not going to work. I'm sounding like a crackly old hen. This is just came on me again this afternoon. It's been very good for a number of days. Anyway, so let's start this again. Karen, my dear. 9 says the answer lies within you, and that 19, the sun, that you're ready to embrace it. But there's a fear as to how that can look, or what it will mean, or what will it do. Because very often we want the change, but what will it bring about? Because change brings about change, and changes in feeling, changes in awareness. And although we want a deeper connection to the inner light, how is that going to outpicture? How will that affect my life? How will that become? So in a way, what we're doing here is allowing you to let go the fear of the result of the inner light shining bright. I know there is one power, and I know that this power exists for Karen. I know that the law of love is there for everyone if they allow it in. I also know that as Karen moves into the deeper connection of her inner light, scratch, scratch goes the voice. I'm just releasing fear here. Not from me, but from Karen. Cough it up, Norma. But she doesn't need this. Now, this goes back to when you're 3 years old. I've got 3, 7, and 12. Maybe you remember what happened then. You must know that as you want to walk your own path, as you create an essence of who you are, that you can let go and allow the deeper connection to your inner light shine. This is not about other people or their influence or the things that have happened to you at different times. This is about you recognizing that your commitment to your growth is paramount. That as you move forward, that as you move into the direction that you are wanting to, that you will become connected to the light. You will be the light. Maybe that's what the fear is about, because what does that mean when you become the light? Does it bring responsibility sometimes? Does it bring a sense of not maybe being who you truly are? I believe that you become who you truly are. I know that the light is there as a beacon, but it's also like that the fear of the change is also there. So I give thanks in recognizing that change is happening. The sun is a beautiful symbol. Take a look at it. Allow it to grow, allow it to become, and realize that the past is behind you. Because that's where deeper connection to inner light brings. It brings an awareness that no matter what has been done, no matter what you feel guilty over, no matter what you feel regret over, that it is done, gone, goodbye. Guilt, which is often comes with those words I just said, is something that we forgive ourselves for, maybe 100 times. And the guilt is just our mind saying, what if we could have done it different? Or what if that should have been this way or that way or whatever? But the key is, as you connect to the deeper aspect of inner light, forgiveness becomes easy. Because we're not paragons of virtue. We're human beings. We feel, and we feel fear, and we feel regret, and we feel sad. We feel all the things. There is no judgment about the feelings. Our feelings, we don't judge. We accept them because that's why we're human. That's why we feel. But that's why we also connect to the light, because then we're able to forgive ourselves easily because we know we're already forgiven. That is one of the things that often people, you've got to be forgiven. Well, the thing is, we already are, because the love force says that. When you feel the love force, it has no judgment. It's not judging you for being you. It's not judging you for anything. And no matter who you are, because this is general for anyone who's listening, you are loved. You are loved beyond measure, is something I often say. But it's like allowing that in to our own hearts so that we can forgive ourselves for the messes we make sometimes in life. Or we say the incorrect thing, or something happens that we feel we could have altered or changed, but we are who we are. And so I know in the deepness of the treatment for Karen is the acceptance of the inner light. And in the acceptance, the deeper understanding, the deeper connection occurs. And all the other stuff dissipates and is gone. I give thanks in the knowing of this. I give thanks with great gratitude And I release this thought knowing that it is true and it is done. That Karen will be and is, never mind will be, is deeply connected to the inner light so that she smiles easily and feels the embrace of love all the time. And I release this knowing it is true and it is done by saying, and so it is. And so it is. Karen says, very interesting. Thank you lots. You have, I, I can't see the little hearts over the place, but it says great insights here. Well, it's what came, and that's all I can do. So I'm going, before I address Karen Lee here, I'm going to have a sip of my usually clearing easily the throat. Karen Lee. Okay, Karen Lee, what do we got today? Can I get a treatment for physical well-being? Have been under the weather this week. 9, 17, and 12. And so we want health, physical well-being. Can't even spell the word today. Well, let's see. Well, again, I'm interested, always interested in the numbers that come up. And so here is another one. We've got 9, which says the answer lies within inside you. You know your own answer here. And this is the 17 is really about balancing your emotions. If you go back 3 days before you started feeling not well, there was something that occurred that you probably need to just let go of. And the 12 is, of course, is acceptance. So it's acceptance of what is. Very often, we don't always recognize that a situation that may have happened several days before actually affects us now, because it's like a worm. You know, they talk about worms in the computers. Well, it's about a worm that goes inside and it's not conscious. You do something, you say something, or something is said to you, whatever, and you kind of put it aside, but it worms in and it's down there, not on the conscious level. And it just gets stuck. So it's about listening to the inner self and reinforcing that knowingness that you are connected and that your health is a reflection of the essence. No matter, we're not perfect beings. We have stuff comes up. And I know in the beginning when I had this health crisis come up last year, I was beating myself up a little bit. Like, where did this come from? How come you've done this? Well, I've learned a lot from that. Not so much that part, but I learned to really clear the subconscious mind, which I give thanks for. And if I hadn't gone on this journey, I probably would never, ever have really found that. But it's like the answer lies within us. When we want to understand, we have to go quiet and look at what is that little worm? What is that little bug in there? What is that little thing that occurred? As I said, I get 3 days before you started feeling not super well, because it's like we have to look it in the face and let it go. And if we have to forgive ourselves, we forgive ourselves. If we don't, we don't. You've got the energy, you've got the knowledge, you've got the awareness. So just accept yourself and use your divine beingness. That's what I will treat for. I know there is one power and one essence, and I know as I speak my word for Karen Lee, that the physical well-being it's almost like explodes into growth. And it's like every part of the body which has been holding on to stuff, it lets go. And I just feel like it's having a love massage. And that may be something you want to do, actually, but it's like allowing it to like my shoulders are tense. So that tells me something you're carrying. And it's like letting the burden down. There's some beautiful songs, not spirituality, but spiritual type songs from the South that talks about putting your burden down. I can't remember all the words now, but it's really like, yeah, let go of your burdens, let go of them. And I feel this is one of the times when you just need to bathe yourself in the light. When you think of the star symbol, and I know you know the symbols, think of that pool that she's working with, where she takes the water and she puts some back in there and some in the land. It's like take that beautiful pool of water of love that honors you, that loves you, that cares for you. And then you take that inside and allow it to embrace you. And in that, let it diffuse the burden that you've been carrying, that you may not even know you've been carrying, but you're carrying. Also, too, another thought came into my mind right now was that, are you sure it's not something that belongs to somebody else? That you didn't take on somebody else's burden? You know, as a reader for so many years, I had to get really clear that when I read, it was not I didn't take it on. Sometimes I would think about it, but no, don't take it on. It's not my job. It is not your job to carry other people's burdens. It is their job. Otherwise, we don't grow in a way that we get to see and experience the beauty of love. Love is not taking people's pain away unless you're able to transmute it. I have been able to do that at times. So but that's a different element than taking on someone's burden, because you feel empathy. Empathy is wonderful if you let it go. So I know, because I kind of interrupted my treatment with my own explanations here, I know that the physical well-being is there for you to be at one, to be at peace, and to understand that you are loved and you can move ahead with ease, with grace, with perfection of lovingness. And so I give thanks in knowing this, and I give thanks as I release this thought, knowing it is true, it is done, that Karen Lee lets go and is herself again on all levels. Thank you. As I let go. Lots of love on that one. I love Math 07. Profound thanks for all your help. I like a treatment for financial abundance. Oh, I love Math 7. I'm trying to think. I think one time you did give me a first name. Anyway, hang on. Financial. My mind is going in all sorts of directions because I just answered a comment of yours actually today. I don't answer them every day from these shows, but I did answer that one. Financial abundance. I love that word, abundance. Do I have any blocks? Okay, we'll soon find out. Let's see what numbers are. 13, 17, and 22. Wow, actually, it's not too bad. Let's have a look. Love Maths number 7. 07. Reminds me of 007. Okay. Just adjusting my awareness as I move into the vibration. 13 is that you're moving forward, a little bit into the unknown from where you're coming from, and that you're able to use what you know and balance it because you are finding faith. You're finding faith in moving forward. As we're wanting financial abundance, you're on the right track here. You're on the right track. It's not something that happens overnight usually, but you're on the right path. There's a numbers I wouldn't really want to change too much because you're leaving the past behind. You're moving forward. You're in balance. You have faith, which we all need when we want to make changes and shifts. So that is excellent. So, okay, let's do the treatment for financial abundance. I know there is one power and one essence, and I know that we're all connected to that. And therefore, I can speak my word for I love Maths 07. I also know that as there is an awareness of letting go of the past and moving forward, that financial abundance can begin to be generated. It can begin to look at differently. Finances, money, etc., is a means of exchange. So as we exchange the old energy for the love energy, for the growth energy, the awareness energy, as we move into that, then the financial abilities come easier. We begin to see money not so much as money and what are we going to do with it, but as a means of ebb and flow, that it brings to us that which we require and need and want. We say, I've done a lot of workshops on money because I had to go through all these things myself. And it's like seeing it arrive not only into you and your aura, but into your home environment. Um, allowing that in beingness. There's always an awareness of acceptance, an acceptance of the abundance of life and the acceptance of financial abundance. As we move into peace, let the whole abundance element of who we are and what we are come into being and allow it to move in the direction of where we want to be and where we want to go and what we want to do. I give thanks in knowing that I Love Maths 07 is moving into the direction of creating and having financial abundance that is willing to let go of the past and concentrate on the essence of who he is now and into the future. Love grows. And therefore, as we move into loving not only ourselves, but the world around us, everything grows tremendously. And so I give thanks in knowing that your financial abundance will grow and that you will find satisfaction and strength through your faith, your knowledge, and your awareness. I give thanks in this as I release this thought, knowing it is true and it is done by saying, and so it is. Whew. Thank you. Karen Lee says, thank you. You always give me food for thought. Well, that's nice. That I'm glad that happens. Yes, that's sometimes I give myself food for thought as well. In fact, I did a little tarot card reading for myself yesterday. I forget now what symbology I got because I didn't write it down, but it was very interesting anyway, and it was about letting go of some things. So today when I woke up and there was the snowish coming down and then sleet, I changed my whole thought for what I was going to do for the most of the day and stayed home and caught up on some other work. I also do weddings around, and it's just coming up, getting ready for the weddings season. So I was touching base with the people who've already booked in weddings and things like that, having them. That's my ministerial hat. But it was, it's always interesting to kind of get back into, you might say, the saddle again and bringing things up to date. And because there's lots of little bits and pieces when you're organizing things. I also had a great opportunity just the other day. I think it was Wednesday. Yeah. Well, was it Wednesday, Thursday? It doesn't matter. Just the other day anyway. Where some people wanted a past life regression. Anyway, to make a long story short, since the lockdowns happened, I really changed everything in my life. So I don't really have people come into my home too much anymore. Anyway, as I said, making a long story short, brought them in and we did a small mini past life regression workshop. Now, past life regression was really, after the tarot, was my second area of expertise and was the basis of a lot of things I learned over the years. And it was interesting watching these two women see themselves at other times and then relating a little bit as to how their life is now. There's so much fascination with life and how it works, because things that happened many, many centuries ago very often, and the decisions that we made are still such a large part of us often. And so sometimes things don't change very, very much until we begin to become aware. Life is a wonderful experience, but it's about accepting and letting go and utilizing the knowledge of where you're going and what's happening and where it's being. I truly want to thank each one of you that have come on tonight to the show. I kind of like to be able to get to 7:30. I always feel, oh, well, we've done it well. If it goes later than that, I'm happy with that too. But it's like I have like Marianne, Kayla, Karen Lee, Karen, and I Love Mass 07 have often come on. And I want you to know that I totally appreciate your support, and that as long as we have support, that we will consistently will be here. If the board is not there for mental mind treatment, then I will find something else to do on a Monday night. For the meantime, here I am, 7 o'clock Monday nights. Of course, I'll be back on Wednesday with 9 o'clock in the morning with Norma Talks Metaphysics. Some way I've got an idea coming up to think about. And then, of course, on Sunday, 9 o'clock in the morning, a Sunday Thought. Lots of love to all of you. You have a great week, and I'm only an email away. NormaCowie.com. Thank you. Bye now. Enjoy your night.